Hot 97 Big Spanish DJ Enuff. I'm here with Dr. Rachael.
Hello.
Okay, so give me a title. Like, what kind of doctor are you?
Great question. I'm family medicine physician.
Okay.
So I do a little bit of diabetes, hypertension,
Right.
you know, all of that good stuff. But I'm also a sexologist. So
Oh.
medical doctor and sexologist. So I deal with sex-related issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we doing here today? Why am I talking to you?
Well, the main reason it's today is that because today is National HIV Testing Day.
Oh, okay.
So because it's testing day, I kind of want to introduce the world to a new way to test for HIV.
Right.
Because typically, you know, you have to schedule an appointment, go to your doctor's office, go to the health department, but now you can actually test yourself and your partner at home.
Right. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's huge. This is the first year that this has been available. It's only been out since October.
Right.
So it's kind of a new thing, but the whole idea is that we're supposed to know our status. You need to know, particularly minority populations.
Yeah, I'm actually due for a test too.
We should test you today.
Oh, let's do it.
Okay, we need to do this.
This is nerve-wracking.
This is
Well, traditionally, it's probably nerve-wracking, right? But now it's maybe a little bit easier.
I'm hoping that this is going to make it easier. It's going to take the stigma away
Right.
from it, make it so that it's not, ooh, I've got to get my HIV test.
Right.
But more so of a like, hey, I like you, you like me, let's go get tested together.
Ah.
Or, you know what, I haven't had a test in a long time. How about I just run down to Rite Aid or Dwayne Reed and just pick up a testing kit?
What do you say to somebody like, is that today's procedure? Like, you just meet somebody, you're digging them. What if I say, let's go get tested? Should you award that, applaud that, embrace that, or should we? You know, because I know a lot of people be like, well, what do you mean?
Sure.
How do you handle that? Like,
Yeah, because if you think about it, that's how people used to be about condoms.
Right.
Why are you asking me to wear that?
uh-huh.
You know, or you think I'm dirty?
There you
When in
go.
actuality, you know, people, you got to look out for yourself.
Right.
You know, and so the biggest way to look out for yourself is to know whether or not you've got HIV to begin with.
Right.
And then from that point forward, to make sure that you don't catch it.
Okay, so you got that right, fellas, ladies. If someone asks you to, I guess,
To get tested.
get tested,
Yeah.
you should actually embrace it. This is today's way of, I guess, being smart,
Yes.
taking care of yourself.
Sure.
Don't be embarrassed. This
No.
is what it is.
This is what it is. I mean, and particularly in the African American and Latino
Right.
communities where HIV is just running rampant. It's become our disease.
How come we're not hearing about it as much as we used to?
Well, because it's not a white people problem.
Ah,
I mean, you know, it affects minorities, so it's not a big issue.
right.
So I love National HIV
But
Testing
can you
Day.
clarify that? Because it sounds like you're saying like white people can't get HIV.
Well, no, it's not that they can't, but it used to be white gay male issue.
Right.
So, and it's no longer that. They got
Right.
together as a community. They spent millions of dollars to educate people,
Right.
using condoms and safer forms of sex, and
Right.
it's just not their issue anymore.
Ah.
But unfortunately, when things become the issue of minority populations, it's just not on the top of the agenda. And so that's why I'm so excited
Right.
about OraQuick.
Okay.
Because this is, you know, this is something that we can actually take initiative for.
Right.
You can actually say today, tomorrow, late at night, the 24-hour drugstore, Walmart, Walgreens, walk in there, spend $40 on a test, and
Done.
be proactive about it. Yeah.
Now, how long are the results for OraQuick?
Perfect. It only takes 20 minutes.
That's
It
it?
takes 20 minutes, some saliva, and before you know it, you're tested. It doesn't hurt. We don't have to prick you, no checking your blood, and it's really the exact same test that I use in my own clinic. And we've been using them in clinics for years. The FDA just finally approved it for home use.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And actually, I have a
You have a
swab.
swab here?
Take it and put it
so
into
this
your
piece
mouth.
here.
Yes, that's the
Okay.
and you can go up here, all the way to the other side, and then you're gonna go down here, all the way to the other side.
all that saliva.
Yes, all that saliva on it. Now, I don't want people to think that you can catch HIV from saliva, because you can't. Kissing, sucking, all those types of things are very safe.
Okay.
But what we're testing for are the antibodies. So then
I think I did too
we're
much.
gonna yeah, it's nice and slimy wet. There you go. It's
Okay.
good. So then we're gonna take it and put it down into a developer solution, and
Okay.
20 minutes later we'll have your results.
Okay.
So
Now you guys
it's
have that here?
really that easy.
Okay,
to-
good,
Yeah,
good.
we have a developer.
They'll work
kit.
on it, good.
Yeah. So it's that easy. There's no excuses anymore. It doesn't hurt. You don't have to make an appointment. You just have to come up with $40.
Okay.
You can order it online, drugstore, however you want to do it.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I like this. I think this is a new step for us. So, is there like any specific funding for this? Or grants being given out? Is like, how is this being promoted? Like, how does this work?
Great question. Well, you know, and I'm not a spokesperson for Oral Quick or anything like that, but actually Oral Quick has two versions of this test.
Okay.
The one that we use in the professional clinic, which is called Oral Quick Advance, and that's what I use in my clinic. Health departments use it, and Oral Quick actually donates them a lot to the health departments to use. But on top of that, you have the consumer brand, which is the Oral Quick on the shelves. So the one that you're going to go into the Walmart or wherever to buy,
Right.
that's the one that has been specifically designed to be easy to use. You flip through, it's got directions. It even has a great 800 number that you can call if you're having any trouble with the test, if you've dropped it in the toilet, need a refund, or if you're just feeling anxious about the test, or if you get a positive result back and you just don't know what to do.
Okay.
So you're supposed to call the 800 number, and instead of just someone saying, hello, how are you? You know, it's a very warm voice.
Yes, a human person.
It's a human person, yes. And what they do is get on the system and find a provider for you in the area, and instead of just giving you their phone number, they actually will connect you directly to a clinic to get you into care.
This is an actual kit right here.
Yes.
All right.
It's available in all the major drugstores across the country. You can even order it online at oralquick.com or walgreens.com or cvs.com.
Okay, good.
Just get one.
Good.
You know? There's no excuse anymore for not getting tested and
What
not
about
knowing your status.
What about the celebrities that we see that you know, have been diagnosed with HIV, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking as healthy as can be. You know, what's the misconception? Because I think a lot of people think, oh, he's living now, he's good, you know, like, no problem, I'll deal with it.
Yeah. I think there's a couple things. Two, I think people consider that Magic Johnson might be on special medications and have found a cure, which
because he looks amazing.
Yeah, he does. He does. And I don't believe that. What happens nowadays is when you find out that you have HIV, if you get into treatment early, the medications can keep you alive for a very long time. And unfortunately, it's starting to be considered a chronic illness. So people are seeing other people live for a long time, and they're like, well, it's not that big of a deal if I catch it because I can just take the medication and still live a healthy existence. So my thing, I'm really big on prevention.
Right.
Practicing safer forms of sex, you know, understanding how the virus enters your body, and really doing a good job of trying to keep potential threat away from you.
Okay. Oral sex is can you catch HIV oral?
That's a great
orally?
question. That's a great question, and what you'll see on the media and everything is that you can. But honestly, when they really look at the studies, they have a very hard time finding specific cases where someone caught HIV from oral sex.
Right.
So I say it's risk stratification, and that's just a big word for if you're about to get it with somebody, you need to know what's the worst thing you could do. Like if this person has HIV, what's that one thing that if I do it, I'm probably going to catch it too. And then what are the least riskier things that I can do, and everybody can have an orgasmic moment and you know, and everything, and still I can walk away and feel fairly safe that out of all the STDs, I didn't contract HIV that day.
So basically what she said, everybody, is that she wants you to get your freak on, but she wants you to feel as happy as you did while you were doing the nasties. Okay, so once you're done with the nasties, you could leave your home. You cannot feel any regrets.
Yeah, because
you can
everybody's
feel
had
happy.
that
You can
day.
hold your head up high,
Yeah.
knowing that you had a great time, but at the same time you protected yourself. And I guess the safest forms of protection are still what? Condoms.
Yep, condoms, female condoms.
Right.
You know,
Are those
a
popular?
hand job.
Are those yeah, hand job? Yeah, those are very popular. But the female condoms, are they as popular as?
Unfortunately, here in the United States, the female condom hasn't taken off because what it requires is you have to touch yourself. You have to fold it, stick it into your vagina, and it's there. And so what we're finding is there's so much stigma even for people to touch themselves. You know, a lot of ladies have never looked down there, don't want to touch down there in American culture. So it's hard to convince them that you fold this and put it into your vagina, and then it hangs out like a bag, and he's supposed to penetrate on the inside. So it's almost like it's too new and too cutting edge for us to really embrace at this moment. But I will say that the people who do use them, guys prefer it and the ladies prefer it.
Really?
Because Because if you think about it, he doesn't have to put anything directly on his penis. And so as that polyurethane sits in her vagina, it's warming up, it's lubricated. So it really starts to feel a little more like her vagina. So when he's penetrating inside of the female condom, it's a very enjoyable experience for both of them.
I think I'm going to try this.
And you can be more spontaneous because she can wear it to dinner. She can? Yeah, you guys can wear it to the movie. And so that when
anything can happen in the car, in the restroom.
Exactly.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, so it brings spontaneity.
Can I get a phone number so we could
yes,
talk?
Exactly.
I would listen. I would love your advice.
Yeah,
this is
totally.
great.
I would love that. That's
yeah,
perfect.
maybe you could do some small webisodes and have them live on our website here and give us, just blurt out some, some great ideas or some great information to our listeners.
I would love that because there are
viewers.
Safer ways to enjoy yourself.
Right.
And I think that if the more ways you have to do it, one day you use a female condom, the next time you use a male condom. You have to have an arsenal of ways to protect yourself. And so for so long, it's just been wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. And so it becomes obvious not everybody's wrapping it up. What are some other ways that people can protect themselves?
Incredible.
So I just want everyone to have a toolbox.
I love that.
Toolbox of ways.
I like that.
Slow it down.
Okay, now I'm going to put you to the test.
Yep.
I want you to give me dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
We're meeting for the first time.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're kissing. We're having a great time. We're at dinner. We're all over the place.
Yes.
And now I'm headed over to your place.
Mm-hmm.
What are you telling me right before we go to bed? Or like, are you giving me this test or like?
Sure. I see exactly what you're saying. And I think that you have to approach new people in a way where you assume this person has an STD. And I think that's the problem. We assume people don't. She's so pretty. Oh, he looks so good. He's so paid. There's no way he has anything.
But doesn't that
No.
But doesn't that slightly stop the
No, because what it does is reminds you that I have to use something. Like, as good as this person looks and as good as this is going to feel, I do have to assume that they have something until we know each other long enough where we can decide not to use the condom.
You're right.
So I think on the way to your place, we have to stop and get some condoms.
That makes sense.
We just
So before it gets hot and heavy, we should engage in that conversation and say, hey, listen, let's go get something.
Yeah, or if you're adult enough to be able to have non-penetrative sex, and do more oral and hand types of things, then that's okay. But a lot of people feel like that's the precursor to penetration. And so what you're actually doing is you're increasing your risk of catching HIV. Because every time you have sex with an HIV positive person, you won't magically get AIDS. What ends up happening is you have some cuts or tears on your penis or some cuts or tears in her vagina.
And it happens.
And the virus goes through that.
Right.
So if you have someone perform head on you for an hour before you penetrate them, so you notice now it's a little raw, that's because there's little tiny cuts on it.
I might die an hour. That's way too long. But it happens.
Yeah, because it's vigorous. It's vigorous sucking. So now your penis is a little raw, and then when you go to penetrate her, if she has an infection, it's much easier for you to catch it.
Right.
See, guys it's harder for you to catch things because the skin on your penis is very similar to the skin on your hand or your face or your leg. It's a barrier. Whereas a woman and an anus and a vagina, the skin is moister and it's tighter, so it's easier to tear.
Right.
And it's easier for the virus to get in that way. That's why women can catch it so much easier than guys can.
What's the ratio between women and men?
In terms
of having HIV.
Well, last year alone, 60% of the new cases of HIV were in black women. In terms of just general populations, about 1.2 million people in the United States are living with HIV. But the problem here is that we're suspecting that 1 in 4 people have the virus but don't even know that they have it. That's the problem.
And that's the part that's scary.
That's the part that's really scary. And
that's why this is so important.
Yeah. If you have another STD on top of it, or if you have herpes, it increases your risk of getting it because herpes leaves open sores. The virus can enter through the sores, and before you know it, you're HIV positive. So much scary things. Ooh. And then, we estimate that 1 in 6 people have herpes, and may know it or may not, but they're not going to tell you you have it. So there's so many more reasons to practice safer forms of sex, and just to take things one step further, and to the moment where you guys feel like you want to advance the relationship, to get tested together. It's not enough for someone to tell you, well, I just got tested 2 months ago. Well, you want to see those results, because you and I both know people lie, make up stuff.
Right.
So the average person will lie and make up that they even got tested.
Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is almost getting like a blue check on Twitter. It's like, you're being certified.
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
You want to make sure your partner is certified.
It's certified.
Yeah.
And there's actually an app for that. It's called Checkmate. So
Really?
that when you get you get a negative result, Checkmate logs it into their system and their app, and you can show your Checkmate card, and it's got a date on it and everything. It's really
I
neat.
want to check that out.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, I think today's conversation was incredible.
Yeah, I agree.
It was educating to me. I hope it was educating for you guys. Don't
so
forget,
too.
go out there and get tested. We support this movement, and I'm so glad you came to talk to us
Well, thank
today.
you. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yes, Dr. Rachel, man. Yes, thank
Follow
you
me
so
on
much.
Twitter at Dr. Rachel, and test at home, test at the clinic. Just get tested, know your
Right.
status, and practice safer forms of sex.
You have a website or something that we can check you out at?
drrachel.com. Dr. Rachel spelled DrRachael.com. Follow me on Twitter at the same
Perfect.
address. And
I love it. Well, thanks so much for having me.
it's my pleasure.
Yes,
Thank you.
Dr. Rachel, Hot 97, DJ Enuff, Big Spanish. Go get tested right now. And thanks to Aura Quick for making it happen.
That's right.